Hello everyone, welcome to this video tutorial about the GSE or Global Scale of English, a tool by Pearson Education designed to make English language learning standards from the Common European Framework more accessible and manageable for both administrators and educators. The purposes in using this tool for Speak Up English Coach are three. The first one is to establish a path to follow with each one of our students. Second, to help us guide our instruction, and third, to keep track of what we do with each one of our students, and also to have a clearer picture of what they'll be able to accomplish in the short and long terms. Now, this GSE tool is to be used in combination with our regular class topics, which we covered in our last staff meeting. These all to establish the basis for our Speak Up sessions. Now, the first thing here is to open the link. Here's the link. We already have it opened, and it's going to be added to the video description below for you to access it. Now, once in the website, you'll see all the filtering options, and also to the top right, a short video overview on how the tool works. You can watch that one on your own later on. But today we're going to focus on the categories to filter so we can get our can-do statements or descriptors to work with our students. The toolkit offers four big categories: learning objectives, grammar, vocabulary, and text analyzer. For the purposes of our project, we're just going to focus on learning objectives. On the learning objectives, you have three different subcategories for filtering. The first one is choosing your type of learner. Second one is choosing the skills. And third one is the granular scale. Now, for the first subcategory, we have learner type, what they call choose learner. The toolkit offers four types of learners: academic learners, people who are planning to attend college or university abroad, and English is the main means of instruction. We have adult learners, which is basically general everyday English. We have professional learners, who are adult learners who need their English to be implemented in working environments. So this is basically workplace English, all right? And we also have young learners, ages 16 to 14, which we don't work with. So we basically work with the first three. But today we're going to be focusing on filtering can-do standards for adult learners and professional learners. All right, under the second filtering option, we have the skill submenu. This deals with the four basic skills of the language. But as you know, at Speak Up English Coach, we only focus on listening and speaking. Reading and writing, we do cover reading and writing, but under very specific circumstances and when students specifically ask for those skills. So listening and reading. Then comes the granular scale, which are basically all the proficiency levels expressed by the Common European Framework. It's called granular because it's so specific. You can even choose within the level where you want to work your student at. So if you have an A1 student, you can even choose to work like the beginning of A1, or towards an intermediate A1, or towards the end of an A1, or the whole A1 group. Okay, so this is another filtering option. Now, this procedure you're about to learn is what you will be doing from now on with each one of your students. Not just at the beginning of the process, but also as you move forward and run out of objectives to cover during the sessions. You will be doing this with all of our students, no matter if they're veteran students or they just started a couple weeks ago. Also, to help us keep track of the can-do statements or objectives we cover as we go, we will be using our Jamboard files to organize and help us keep these standards handy for when we need them during our planning. All right, as of now, each one of our students has been using a Google Drive folder in which we put all of our Jamboards and extra materials we work with them. In that folder, you'll find this subfolder I created for all of you already, for each one of our students. The folder is called GSE. Inside GSE, you'll find a Jamboard called GSE. So what we want you to do basically is to, once you know the level of your student, you know it because you've been working with them for a while now, or we already told you after the placement exam. So you put that name here. So it's not just GSE, but also the level of the student where you're currently working him at, or where you want to get him. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So once you name the file and you open it, I have it opened here already. Okay, we'll see how to work with this. Now, we're going to work on two students, basically. We're going to work with two students. One is Juan Carlos, and the other one is Lady. Juan Carlos is one of Juan David Rodriguez's student, and Lady is one of Carolina's student. Juan Carlos, he's a C1, all right? He works in the IT sector. He's got a managerial role. He's a tech leader, basically. He's got some participation in human resources since he works in the selection process of new employees. He has clearly stated his interest in developing workplace English. He wants to reach advanced proficiency in the workplace, everything that means for him. Participate in meetings, lead meetings, interviews in English, explain his projects, challenges, skills, everything within that spectrum. Now, Lady, on the other hand, she's an A1 student. She's more towards general English. She's got an immediate need, that's true, which is immigration. She wants to go to Canada, but for that she needs basic English, at least A1, A2, in order for her to survive, all right? So those are our two pictures. One general student, Lady, one professional student, professional learner, Juan Carlos. Now, at this point, it is important to say that by now, each one of you should already know not only what their students' levels are, but also what the purpose of their being with us is. Whether they want to focus on general English or specific English at work, you should already know that. If you do not, or if you're not clear or have any questions, please reach out and we will discuss it, okay, before you do this process. Remember, you're going to be doing this process with each one of your students. Alrighty, let's start with Juan Carlos's case. So let's choose our type of learner. We know Juan Carlos is a professional learner, and we know he is a C1. Yeah, even though he's a C1, there are still things under that category that he yet needs to master. All right, so we're going to keep him at a C1 for a while. After that, we choose our skill, language skill, listening, and speaking. Then we choose. If you want to adventure and choose a more specific job role, be my guest. I do not think we need to do that at the moment. So I'm just going to leave it at professional learners, choose skills, listening and speaking at C1 at the granular, and show results. Let's see what comes up. So we get 93 can-do objectives, can-do standards. Some of these standards offer more information, all right? Like this one in particular offers a job profile in which this standard is highly applicable. Others go beyond that and offer related grammar structures that you can cover while addressing that particular standard, all right? So how do you know what to choose? Choose whatever you think is good for the student according to what they want to talk about, according to their topics and according to their interests, and of course according to the level. Do you have to follow a particular order? No way, you do not. Just choose here and there. Do you have to choose only speaking? No, you can choose speaking and listening. You can choose whatever for as long as we keep track of what you choose. So in this particular case, I am going to choose the first three. This first three, I always encourage coaches to choose three or four, no more than 3 or 4. And those you will work over a particular time, say 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It depends on the complexity of the standard and the topic itself. If you're about to finish your topic, then you try to choose easy standards that do not demand a lot of time. So I will choose these 3. I'll take a screenshot. Then I'll go to Juan Carlos's folder, find the GSE folder, and inside I will find the Jamboard. I will open the Jamboard, all right? I'll make sure it's labeled. It's labeled as the level I currently work with him at, which is a C1. I will make sure it's labeled like that, C1. I will drag this arrow over here to show where he is at. Then I'll move on to the next slide and put the standards there. All right. So as I cover these standards, and I am very sure that they are already able to do all this at a C1 level, which means almost perfectly, then I'll just put a check mark on it. And I'll move on to the next one or to the third one. Whatever order you want to follow is fine. Just make sure you keep track of what you do and you show us that you did it and the student accomplished it by putting the check mark on it. All right. Now, when you're done with these three, then you just go back and repeat. Go back to the GSE, same filtering options. If you want to venture into a job role, go ahead, be my guest. Then you get your results and you choose what to focus next. And you come back to the Jamboard and you put them on the next slide. If you want and if you need to, you just add more slides and put the standards you are covering in there. So that is for Juan Carlos's case. Now let's go to a general English interest for an adult learner, which is our other student, Lady. So again, in the filtering option, the first one, we go to adult learners, we choose the skills, again, language skills, listening and speaking, we choose them. And on the scale, we go to A1. All right, Lady, as Kata knows, she's an A1 in some things, but she's still a minus A1 in many other things. But we want to get her an A1. Again, Kata, if you consider minus A1 is the best for her, you can just go ahead. But also keep in mind, we want to get her to an A1, so I'll just go with the next level. All right, so A1, let's show results, see what we get. In here, we got 110. Same procedure. Some of the standards, some of the can-do goals come with related grammar. Look at all these things. For this standard, can say word day and other people are in a limited way. Of course, it's an A1. You can have all these things explained. Oh my God, that's a lot of ground to cover. Great. All right, again, I choose whatever in whatever order. I'll just choose these three. Remember, what determines what I'm choosing is basically the knowledge I have on the student and also the topic we are dealing with currently in our conversations. So I'll take my screenshot of my first three. Let's say I'm going to do 4 over the course of 1 month. I will take the snapshot and go to Ladies folder, find the GSE, make sure it's labeled. All right, it has a name, so I'm going to rename it. This is a GSE file, but it's at an A1 level. I'll put the A1 level there, open it. Oh, it's already opened here, and repeat. Just put it in there, work with the student, and as you work with your student, you just come back to this every time to let us know it's covered, it's checked. All right, we hope this video tutorial was clear enough for you guys. Again, we're always here for you, 24/7, group, WhatsApp, call us, email us, anything you need, let us know. I will start working on our next video tutorials. Hopefully soon you'll get another video tutorial on what we do so that we don't always have to meet. All right, thank you again. Any question, just ask. Remember, this is of immediate application. All right, do this with all of your students. Let me know if you need help. Let me know if you need clarification, and we're here for you. You have a wonderful day. Ciao, ciao.